Go ahead. Welcome, Jose.
Hi, Linda, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. We're going to, before we do anything, we're going to call our ancestors of the past, the present, and the future, and we're going to welcome them and appeal to them to be witnesses of this sacred ceremony that we're having this uh, via technology at this time for the purpose of being witnessing to everything we say and we think and we share, and for the highest good of all, for the guidance for the people who came to listen, for them to open their minds and their hearts and their spirits to receive the messages that we have brought. And then at the end, we'll ask our ancestors from the past, the present, and the future from all directions, from the west, the east, and north, the south, from Shibalba and from the universe to go back to where they come from, and be also our messengers to let our intergalactic brothers and sisters know that it is possible now in this space and time to do exactly this, where we can join in our thoughts and our prayers across the globe and the universe, and in a good way, bring information forward to those who are willing and ready to listen and possibly even take some action regarding the messages that we deliver to them. So with that, thank you very much for coming and being here. My name is Federico Munoz, and I am a messenger for the Mayan tribes. And I do have many names that people know me by, many other labels that people know me by. But from my perspective, I am here strictly and solely to be a messenger. But that's who I am. I do many things among the keeping of the wisdom of the tribes. Some of the things I do is ceremonial. I perform, or I'm able to perform 360 different ceremonies through a calendar of time. But I'm also able to perform roughly 13,000 different kinds of ceremonies that we calculate based from those 260 initial ones. And I mention this because it is this how I started my path towards the year 2036. It's a very significant year in space and time when we calculate time in a linear time. But it's also a significant year when we calculate time in a circular manner, which is a little bit unusual. Most people, they are accustomed to see linear time. So we follow the Gregorian calendar. And for language purposes, we also do that today. We are going to talk about the year 2021 and also the year 2029. And finally, the year 2036. It is so why we decided to call this talk the road or the path to the year 2036. So before we continue, we acknowledge the fact that as timekeepers, we see time in a cyclical manner, in a circular manner. And what that means is simply to be able to see that there are many other calendars around the world that are exact. They are round of 360 days. Some of them are round of 365 days in a quarter. And some of them are round with 360 days. So when we see and we open our mind and our spirit to the possibility that they have others keeping time in a different way other than the Gregorian calendar, where today we are in July 19th of the year 2018. In other ways, we call the days a different time, a different name. We call the minutes different. We have different ways of seeing an hour with 72 minutes instead of 60, and so on. So a circular way of keeping time has allowed me to know that today it has been 66,330 years, 6 months, and 19 days that Cherokee tribes, the Mayan people, have been counting time in a circular way, day to day to day. So that's the one thing that we offer, the opportunity to remember together that in a circular or cyclical way of time, then we can see the past, the present, and the future in what we call the eternal now. Because when we think in a practical way in the 3D world, this is actually all we have this month, this right now. So when we see the way of time in a cyclical manner, then we can go instantly to the future. With enough discipline and basic knowledge of mathematics, we can go to the future and see what's going to happen. Or if we're not open completely to what's going to happen, perhaps we can open ourselves and our minds to what is potentially going to happen in the future. So by doing this, then let's call the day of today. We call the day of the Achmed Shiv, or the Achmed Siv, depending which language you're speaking in the Mayan languages. Today is the day of the condor. In the day of the condor, we have ceremonies like this, where we gather around the fire, the sacred fire, and we talk about what can potentially happen in the future, or in our case, with certainty, what's going to happen in the future. And we do this, we analyze the day, and in the day of the condor, we see the beautiful future. In my case, I see a beautiful future, and I see the green grass, and the air is clean, and the water is fresh. And in my way of seeing things in the future and the now, we bring the future to the 3D reality by keeping the vision in our minds, in our spirit, in our souls. And sometimes that even shows in our body. There's a lot of people that practice these ways to stay young, stay looking young, live up to 250 years in this 3D world, and soon to be even more longer space, expansive time for those who have practiced and start to practice in the now. We are in a new world. We are going through a pace of rebirth, of regeneration. Most of us will agree that since December 22nd of 2012, our world has changed in a very, very definite way, in a dramatic way in some cases. And then sometimes some of the processes like completely being transferred 180 degrees, the opposite direction, and sometimes even upside down. The world has been turned upside down by the new massive amounts of mathematics and energies and magnetic fields that are coming to Mother Earth. So then we have the ability in the day of the condor to go instantly to the future. So I picked a couple of dates to see the future, and today, for the purposes of this conversation about time and cosmic identity, we're going to go to not too far into the future. Let's go to December 21st of 2018. And for those of you who are willing to try, see what you're going to be in that day today. See what you're going to be doing. See what other people are going to be doing, and see who's going to be with you and who's going to be not with you in that day. In my case, I am going to be with many of my brothers and sisters who I highly appreciate and collaborate to do this around the world. We're going to be building a Mayan 6-sun calendar dreamcatcher manifestation station in downtown Los Angeles. For those of you who are not familiar with downtown Los Angeles, it is a massive urban jungle located in the west coast of the United States, and it will take a lot. It takes a lot to do anything in Los Angeles, much less downtown Los Angeles. But I saw myself doing this long ago. I came to the future, and I saw myself building dream catchers around the world. And I saw myself in December 21st of 2018. I saw myself and many others having global meditation for peace, for world peace. And I saw myself weaving the web on the top of that dreamcatcher installation. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to share the graphics via electronic, but you can see the dreamcatcher. This is the dreamcatcher that we're going to build in downtown Los Angeles. The dreamcatcher is a structure that will be of critical use on the road to 2036. These dream catchers that we're building is 100 of them that we have scheduled to build by that date, December 21st of 2021. So this is the next day we're going to jump into the future, and by the year 2021, December 21st, we're going to be building the last of 100 dream catchers. And so between now and then, we have to build 98. And I could tell you the cities and the days of every one of the 98 that are coming to the world. But for this purpose of today, I have mentioned the one for December of this year, 2018, and we're going to leave it at that. Then, the next date we're going to go to will be January 1st of the year 2022. And during that day, we're going to be waking up from a long, long cycle of horror and transformation, for lack of other words, around the world. And we're going to be finally united across the globe in a single page, praying for peace and for balance and for unity, for joy, and for what we call intergalactic harmony. Again, this will happen the day after the summer solstice, at the winter solstice here in North America, in December 22nd of 2021. So I'm going through these spaces of changes. We're going through this space of global chaotic beauty, as most of you have felt it by now. That is where we're going through. this is the period of rebirth of the entire universe, the period of rebirth of Mother Earth, the period of rebirth of ourselves individually, and us, body, mind, spirit, and soul are being and going through a period of transformation as we talk. This period of transformation or going through the birth canal of the new universe is going to last until 2032 in December. Now, before we get there, I'd like to call the attention to the word prophecy. The word prophecy is to remember ourselves that there is a future coming at us in the eternal now. And there's only two kinds of humans that can be there. Those who fully accept the prophecy, and those who do something about it to change the timelines, to change the destiny. So this is a question for all of us out here today in this conversation is, which one are you? Are we going to be willing to just accept what's coming? Or do we accept what's coming, we acknowledge it, and we do something about it? I want to mention this because in the past, I have made some very daring prophecies. The most recent one, or the most daring one in my last 5 years career as a timekeeper was the fact that I predicted that Donald Trump will be the president of the United States. And I predicted that 2 years before he was even the official candidate for the Republican Party. So when I do these kind of predictions, then it's very logical that we have other questions. How do I come up with these predictions? And I'm here to say, my name is Federico Munoz, and I stand by the messages I deliver. And how I do it is through mathematics. I see it black and white and clearly. And there is a story behind the story that any of you can have. It's called my writing is called Butterflies, Memoirs to Space and Time. And through that, you will get back story to the story. I can send you that free of charge at any time. You just need to send me an email requesting it to my email, which is unitylovepeace33@gmail.com. So when I did this prediction of Donald Trump becoming the president, then even my own family disowned me, my friends left me, or those who have said were my friends that left me. But all I did was having a conversation like this. I did a live prediction based on mathematics, and then it happened. At that very time when I did it, nobody will believe me or believe it. And of course, later on, that proved to be certain. And then I also predicted that he would have the ability to unite the entire world without harmony. And of course, I have a lot of criticism on that until the day where 700,000 sisters marched in unity downtown Los Angeles and more than 10 million around the world, praying, marching for many subjects, among them peace. So that is I would say, the caliber of the predictions. I had to use the samples. So those who get to see this recording can see that all I'm doing is basing what I said in my mathematics in the background and the history I carry from the Mayan people from the year 1444 to the year 1529. And anyone will have access to that, how I come up with it, that kinds of how and it's technology, it's mathematics, so I am very willing and happy to share with anyone who wants to delve into this world of Zoom, because I can say this to anyone in this group, and they will most likely understand. But if I say it out loud in the public, then it's different. That's what happened when I predicted again that Donald Trump would have 4 more years of presidency. And so, again, the word prophecy or prediction is for the human factor to accept it or do something about it. I want to make that very, very clear today. Because the next day we're going to visit, it has to do with survival, it has to do with unity, peace, love, harmony, joy, the shining path that we're going to take after 2036. So the next day is April 13th of the year 2029. Now, before I go there, I have to mention that the capabilities that I have thanks to technology is we can manage to do general predictions of where we're going to be all the way up to the year 7,000 as we count the years in the Gregorian calendar and beyond that. But to start with, 5,000 years to start was something that we can live for humanity to make something useful of the technologies that we're going through right now in this period. And so here's where the dream catchers from. The dream catcher installations are for that pockets of survivors that will be around the world. These are the ancient future schools of thought, schools of wisdoms, where children will come and gather and remember the past, the present, and the future, and the eternal present. They will remember the sciences, they will remember the mathematics, and they also will remember how to take care of Mothership Earth. This is a very critical wisdom that we might have forgotten. Those who have been born in for the last few hundred years, we might have forgotten how to take care of Mother Earth and how to take care of ourselves along with Mother Earth. Some of us have even forgotten how the very basics had to even build a fire without gasoline or matches or sparklers. So all of this ancient future wisdoms will be taught in the schools of thought in the dream catchers installations that we're doing around the world. It's etheric temples of wisdoms, where some days the children will communicate with the plants around these installations around the world. And so that is why we're building 100 of this for the year 2021, because even though this prediction that we're talking about today will not happen until 2029 or 2036, we would like to have a preemptive strike of being in readiness for the children, for the generations. Not even for us. It's for Mother Earth, and it is for the children of the next 26,000 years. This is why the installations are being built one by one, and sometimes even 10 or 20 at the same time around the world, to leave something we have for the generations for the next 26,000 years. So this prediction of 2029 is for April 13th of 2029. During the time, there's this massive piece of mass coming to Mother Earth. This will be the closest we have come to a celestial body in roughly about 700,000 years. So the mathematics today calculate that it is very possible that this massive piece of matter will come crashing into Earth very, very close to the Pacific coastline of the United States, or near to a city that is called Malibu, and will send waves of destruction across the land, across the globe. So when this happens, it's not if, but when this happens, we would like to be ready. And this is where the mathematics come in, because according to the Gregorian calendar, it's scheduled to be here on April 13 of 2029. But with the mathematics with the round system, it is very possible that that may happen earlier. And that is the why the urgency of building the schools to start for the next 26,000 years for the children, for those pockets of survivors around the world. Now, when I say pockets of survivors, I am talking about the eco villages that are fully sustainable, producing enough food for a couple of thousand or 10,000 people in a sustainable way where they don't run out of material to keep going. These are what we call the pockets of survivors of the eternal present. Those pockets only exist right now across the world. It is those people who will continue the work for humanity into the future. And so for December 21st of 2021, we'll build the last installation, and after that, we are scheduled to be in unity, working for peace across the globe, getting ready for intergalactic peace. There is
Wanda, I'm just going to pause the recording here.
Roughly about 600 kilometers across. So it is a possibility that this matter, called in the Western language, they call it apophysis. They call it that because they believe this is actually the one time that humanity will not survive. Apophysis means death. And this is what, according to many doomsday predictions, many people who have nothing better to do than trying to instill fear in humanity, they're saying that this is it. So that prediction from that cosmology, from the Mayan tribes, is not only we will survive, but we will thrive after this event, when it happens. And so if this hypothesis goes through this keyhole, 600 kilometers span, then it's not going to hit the Earth at all. In fact, it's going to go around, and it will come back later in April 19th of 2036. Again, there is a chance of give and take days in error. So it might actually be, and this is where I see it. I disagree with the April 13 of 2036. And what I see as a mathematician, as a timekeeper, is I see the definite date is July 19th of the year 2036. That's exactly 18 years from now. And that would be in the Mayan calendar, the 600 calendar, and many other calendars from around the world. That is actually the day of transformation, the day of the storm. With that combination, it's a very, very good probability that transformation will happen to many around the galaxy, around the globe, around the city, around the neighborhood. events that have happened in this combination in the past have brought, for example, on February 4th of 1976, there was an 8.0 earthquake in Guatemala City that killed over 350,000 people. And to us, transformation is just another step into evolution. So we always not necessarily go looking for it, but we welcome it and we actually celebrate it most of the time. Thus, we'll keep that traditions intact. And so I see myself in July 19th of 2036, and I am 70 years of age, according to the Gregorian calendar. And at that time, I'm with my daughters in downtown Los Angeles having breakfast at this small, one of my favorite small restaurants called Philippe's, a French restaurant. So there you have it. That is my road to the year 2036. It's a roller coaster ride for all of us, a roller coaster ride to the universe. And the one comfort that I have and always available to any of you out there is come and join us. And remember your cosmic identity. Remember your cosmic identity, and by that you remember how is it that you can be the best of service for the highest good, not just for your heart, for your mind, but also for your spirit, and for the future 26,000 years. I can also give you the mathematics to do that on your own. Again, you can always email me at unitylovepeace33@gmail.com or with a text and request what you like. And my phone number is 323-670-9310. And through that, I am through with this conversation. I hope that some of you or all of you might have found some value in it. And I hope we can do it again in the very next eternal present. Matias, Tata, Matias, Lana, thank you very much.
Jose, thank you very much for that incredible information. We just had a question in the chat box as to the asteroid on April 13, 2029. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes, according to the Gregorian calendar.
Okay, and that is your prediction?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So any other questions from the audience?
Sure, I have one or two. Hi, Jose, this is Barbara. I heard you say preemptive strike in relation to the children. So I have a couple of questions just to get the thread right, because at times the sound dropped out. So what I understand is the dream catchers are for pockets of survivors, and are they like a memory trigger for the children because much of the culture has been destroyed? Are you saying at that point there's ancient schools of wisdom that will be instigated to bring back ancient wisdom? So if you could just explain the preemptive strike, what was that? And you know, the dream catchers and the children, the connection there?
Yes, preemptive strike simply means, and the way of my perception is, we're doing something about it for the future before it happens. So the idea is to build these installations, these etheric buildings, where the children of this packet of survival humanity, eco village, or whatever you want to call it, will have this actual for them to come and learn and listen through the elders, but also through the plants and through the ether in these specific locations where they will have, as you stated it, memory triggers of their ancient future, and they will start building or rebuilding or doing better what already exists, the world of today. So yes, that is one of the goals, to have the children remember in those close to top, the dream catchers.
Just one follow-up question. I think you said that peace would be established in 2021. So that would be kind of the end of Donald Trump's first term. And then you say he's in for a second term. And then this preemptive strike is an asteroid, which comes much later. Is that right?
No, I never said established. I never used the word established. What I said was by the year 2021, humanity will be in a single page praying for peace, working for peace together. Whether we or willingly, we must unite by those dates. But what will be established will be the dream catchers. Those will be done by that date. Yes.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Any more questions? Jose, is this information on a website or somewhere that we can go and check it out, or is it just what you've just told us now?
Yes, this is all now recorded in you. You have now this information.
Yes.
And it will be in whatever mediums we have available. When you share it, there's a few spaces where I'm gonna post it. There's some people that have emailed me already that would like to have a recording of it, and I promise them, like, as soon as I get it, I will email it to them. So yes, there will be, or it is already in space and time in your hands.
Okay, well, the sound hasn't been very good in this meeting, so I'll just repeat your email. It's unitylovepeace33. Is it at Gmail?
It is at Gmail, yes.
At gmail.com. unitylovepeace33 at gmail.com. And you can write to Jose and, with your questions. So, any final comments?
I have a quick question. Why Malibu? Is there a reason?
There's no reason behind it other than that's what the mathematics shows it'll come through. Again, that is, if it happens in 2029, it'll come 600 off the shore of Malibu. If it happens in July of 2036, it will come a little closer to the coast. We don't have the capability of seeing the orbit of the item right now, so that's as close as we come, 600 kilometers, roughly 300 miles to take the coast of Mali.
And when you said we can make a difference by, what do you suggest that we do to make a difference? How do we make a difference individually? The sound was bad, so I'm sorry if you did explain it. I didn't hear that.
There's many ways of making a difference according to perception and geographically where we are located. If I was living in Malibu, I will make something about it, and I will move to the higher ground. Most likely, the most safest place in the world at that time would be a town called Pine Ridge, which is a town in the high desert area between Barstow and Las Vegas. So that's, in reality, in 3D reality, that's something that we can individually do about it. In the spiritual world, we can do appeal to the greatest galactic federation, the galactic spiritual forces that have always been with us, and bring it in a case as in a highest court, and bring our case, our every individual case, how, why we need to survive and be here after it, after the events, and let it be individually according to the universe, what needs to be done, what needs to be not done, because after all, who are we to try to stop the universal will? So again, many things that we can do. As of right now, the best thing we can do is awareness. Bring this to the people who you feel your immediate circle that would make a difference in the afterwards. Forget about getting through, forget about disasters. Let's talk about the afterwards. How are we going to stay alive afterwards when and if this happens?
Okay, Jose, this is incredible information, and we'd love to talk to you again next time. And perhaps we could go into a little bit more detail. I'd like to thank you so much from all of us. And I'll be in touch soon. And so thank you from all of us. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you. Very interesting.